guys, so this is my second time making this video because I'm very rambly. Just to let you know, this is going to be a super rambly video probably, but I will try my best. I wrote some notes, so let's get started. Let's start out with some fun facts about snakes. Most of these I knew, but some of them I probably didn't. I just looked up snake facts on the internet. I'm sorry, am I not creative? I actually am pretty creative, but every time I try to explain what I do know, I keep going on like a tangent. I just can't get this video at a good, solid time. So, let's get started. As you all may know, snakes smell with their tongue. And Sarabi's probably not going to demonstrate much right now. He's kind of in one of his shy moods where he just wants to cuddle and be sweet. So if you were here, I'd totally let you cuddle with him. But I'm the only one here right now. I love you too. You're so sweet. Their tongues are forked and they stick their tongue out and it goes like this. I actually have a video on it, which I will insert here. It's pretty funny, Family Guy.
Really, the only word for it is...
And they have a Jacobson's organ, which is located about where their brain is a little bit almost like below their brain. And they stick their tongue out, get particles of the air, stick their tongue back in, and they sense with it. Does that make sense? No, I'm just kidding. They smell with it. So when snakes stick their tongue out, they're not trying to eat you. They're not tasting you. They are getting a feel for their surroundings. They're just trying to know, what's going on. Snakes, depending on the different types, some types of snakes lay eggs and some types of snakes give birth live. Pythons, they lay eggs, but boas give birth live. The thickest snake is the anaconda. The biggest snake is the reticulated python. And the smallest snake is called the thread snake, or the blind snake, or the blind snake is the only other name that I can recall. But it's really tiny. It's only about 4 inches long. It looks more like an earthworm than a snake. But yeah, they're really tiny and cute. Snakes will fake death, like the hognose snake. It's actually really neat. Kind of gross though. They will, when they feel threatened, like really threatened, they will turn over on their belly. They naturally have a black color on their belly. See how with Sarabi, his is just pure white with a little bit of speckling, but his is white, or ivory. And hognose snakes have sort of a decaying looking marking on their bottom scales. They will roll over and stay still, and I believe they stick their mouth open, don't they? Yeah, they do. They open their mouth and they flop their tongue out, and they actually give off a smell through their anal gland, which makes it smell like they're dead. So people will go, ooh, don't want that, and then they'll go away from it. Isn't that funny? Oh, that's weird. Kind of like possums. Possums will play dead. You're not dead though, honey. Don't worry. You don't need to play dead. He just acted like really scared when I said that. Yeah, something else that was on the site that just came back to memory is that snake scales are made of keratin, which is the same thing that is made from our hair and our nails. So, knowing that, feel your nails, feel your hair. Do you think snakes are slimy? Now go feel a snake and then tell me what your answer is. They are the smoothest animal I felt, besides hairless rodents or hairless dogs or cats. But the closest thing you could get, the smoothest snake of all, would be a scaleless snake. They have scaleless corn snakes, which are really awesome. They're kind of wrinkly and really soft. They don't have scales. Like you can see the scales, and they're kind of rigid. And every snake has different scales. But scaleless snakes, obviously, they don't have scales. So that's really cool. And you won't find those in the wild, I don't believe. They're a breeding project. Oh, and snakes have to regulate their body heat. So you can't, you know how if we are hot, our body will cool us down if we just stay still and stuff. Snakes are cold-blooded. They have to regulate their body heat, so it's always important to give them a warm side and a cool side on their enclosure. And, they're constantly traveling in the wild throughout the day, not, widespread traveling, but just traveling towards a warm place or a cool place or to get water, or most of the time they will hang out in a nice region that has rodent supply, rodent activity. That's about all the facts I have for you today. Let me go get something that you guys might think is cool. Come on, Sarabi. This is my snake bag. While I'm going through it and picking things out, I'm going to tell you things that you need to know before buying a snake. First is the most important thing and the most expensive thing will be your setup, and your setup will usually last for a long time, so you want to invest in a good one. You want to invest in a cage that has locks on it, such as the critter cage that I have. Okay, you can't see it. Never mind, I'm not going to turn. Critter cages are good for that. Make sure you have heat, and depending on what snake you get, make sure you look up their heat, how much heat they're supposed to have. Ball pythons are at least 78 degrees. If it's less than 78 degrees in there, it's not good, and they need to be around 80 degrees. Then snakes, like I just explained, should have a cool side and a warm side. So make sure you do that when you're looking for your setup. Make sure it's big enough to have, like if you have a heat lamp, you have a heat lamp on one side, or your heat pad on the bottom, like heat lamp, heat pad, and then on the other side of the cage, you just have your water bowl. So that's your cool side, warm side. Great, got it good. Second thing is you are going to see dead animals when you have a snake, or dead rodents when you have a snake, because snakes eat rodents. They do not eat crickets, which I've seen at Petco. There has been some big fat crickets in the baby ball python cages, and that disgusts me that these people try to do that. That's not healthy in my opinion, but I don't know. Do you guys think it's healthy for snakes to eat bugs? Please let me know in the comments below your opinions on that. I've read up on it, and I think that it is my camera moved. I think it is most healthy for snakes to eat rodents. That gives them all the nutrition that they need. I forgot to mention, if you're feeding live or if you are feeding frozen and they might be a little bit wet, feed in a separate container like this, okay? My old videos that I just showed you were of me when I didn't know not to feed them in a separate container. But now I'm here to tell you, if they digest their bedding, they can die, and we don't want that. So if you're feeding your snake, please feed them on something plastic, or in a plastic container, in a cardboard container. Just make sure that they can't digest their bedding. And when you have a snake, don't get rid of it in the wild. Never let it go, okay? You hear me? Never let that snake go. Okay, good. When you are looking for a snake, make sure you read up on the size, okay? When you're buying a snake, they're babies. When baby snakes are babies, they're going to be small. But you never know how big they're going to get from looking at them when they're babies or when they're young. Okay, so make sure you can afford a big snake. Big snakes are a lot of responsibility. You got to have the money to make them a nice big enclosure, or buy one. They can get pretty big and pretty expensive with the things I've seen, and you want to make sure that you have enough money to buy the food for it every week. It could even eat rabbits, considering how big they are, depending on what you get. Or you could go to jumbo rats, which you buy a mouse, it's not going to cost as much as a jumbo rat. So just keep in mind, be smart about it and do research. So that's what I have to say about that. Here's something cool. I have a rattlesnake rattle. You can see that. My hand does not move that fast, but it's really, really neat. If I hold it up in the light, I can actually see there. Oh, this camera sucks. Look up a picture of a rattlesnake. Rattlesnake rattle. You can see like the bones in it and the vertebrae. So, yeah, look one up and you can see a picture. And if you look in the light, you can almost see the vertebrae in it. Or if you look up like an anatomy, or the anatomy of a rattlesnake. This is the one I have. I got it from my great uncle, who is a wildlife. He lives in Montana, and he used to be a wildlife officer. When he knew I loved snakes, so he sent me this, which I'm glad that I have it. It's pretty cool. So I've shown people that are interested in snakes. It's really neat to have one and see how they move. Another thing, being scared of snakes. Snakes are always going to be more scared of you than you are of them, so don't worry. Snakes, they're not bad. They do a lot of good things. They keep rodent population down. Imagine if we didn't have any snakes, and we would have so many mice getting into our houses and our food and our cable, eating our cable, or not that watching TV is that important, but eating our wires that are inside of our house, and for like the warmth, and your pipes, and spread lots of diseases, and they multiply so quickly. Snakes keep other snakes out of the way too. They do not breed as much as rodents do. Snakes will breed they will breed once a year every 3 years. So that means you're going to get a batch of snakes every 3 years from an individual snake. You don't have to be scared of a snake, because they're really not looking to hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry, I slipped. You can see how just docile this snake is. He is so nice. But he's not wild either. They can adapt to handling so well. Snakes are still individual and have a personality, but I think as long as you handle snakes, no matter how mean they are, keep handling them, be safe, learn how to dodge them and get them out safely and stuff, but you just keep handling them. look up videos on aggressive snakes if your snake is aggressive. Handling. If you have a pet snake, please handle it. It just gives me satisfaction to know that people get their snakes out and play with them and love on them, even though, he's pretty comfortable right now. He's all up in a ball on me. He's comfortable in my hands, and he's just chilling. He's just looking. I love you. He's a very, very good boy. Let's see, here's something cool. This was from his first shed with me. I was very surprised to see this. You know what this is? Here, let me put him down so I can show you. That right there, that is his headpiece. That is from him shedding, and that is from his head skin. So you can see the two eyes, and if you look closely, you can see right there and right there, two little nostrils. And it's very, very neat. One of my favorite things about shedding is seeing their face pieces. I think it's a little bit creepy to snake's face not on your snake, but yeah, it's really neat when they shed to see that. When your pet snake sheds, that's really awesome. That's one of my favorite things. So go get yourself a snake and watch it shed. No, just joking. If you're not responsible enough, don't buy a snake. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Let's see, what else I can talk about? Snakes don't stink. That's something really cool. They don't stink. Like, they hardly have any smell to them. The only thing I can smell is a little bit of his bedding on him, which is the aspen bedding, which doesn't stink. It just smells like very clean wood. Wood chips. Smells like wood chips. Snakes don't sweat, so the only bacteria that really gets out of them is through their poop. And as long as you clean up their cage, they're gonna smell nice and clean. There you go. Oh, he's looking at y'all. I'm looking at y'all. He's so cute. I just love. You okay? You okay? I'm gonna go back in your cage. When your snake acts a little bit, in other words, like this, the only reason I'm keeping him out is so you guys can see me. But I'm almost done with this video, so you guys can see him. But that means that they want to go back in their cage. If they become really like kind of curled up and just like sit there, that means they're saying, "Okay, mommy, time out." So usually when they do that, it's time to put him back in their cage, and I'm gonna go put him back in his cage. So I'm done with the video. One thing, real quick, I'll show you a shed from him. Okay, this is only part of a shed from him. I'm Santa Claus. Oh, okay, here's the full one, but this is when he was younger. Yeah, that's the head still attached. They get crinkled on, that they don't look so pretty sometimes. But those are the two biggest ones I've found, the two, decent sized ones. Oh, and this is something really cool. This is a piece of skin. I have to show you this. That's what Sarabi does. He sits there and he stares. Sarabi, what you doing? This is a king cobra skin. So these are the scales. These are the top scales. These are the bottom scales that they crawl on. They're really soft too, and they go out and in, out and in. So that's pretty cool. That's what a king cobra skin looks like. Here's the size of it to my hand. They're big snakes. They're wide snakes. Not so thick, but they're wide. But that concludes my video. Sorry if it was rambly, but hey, that's me. Don't subscribe if you don't like me talking like that. Although I don't do much videos like this. That's it. Thanks for watching. I love you, and I'm really glad that you are my friends on here, because it's really nice to share my interest with you and to get support from you guys. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Sarabi says thank you too, even though he does not even know what YouTube is. He doesn't know what subscribe means. He just knows eat, drink, sleep, eat, heat, eat, sleep, drink. Crawl. Bye guys, see you in the next video. So Abby, what should I talk about? You're kind of mellow today, aren't you, buddy?